If you're a frequent PNW Haunts and Homicides listener, you probably already know we're Birdie ambassadors.
We wanted to take a quick moment to tell you a little bit more about this awesome product.
Birdie is the modern personal safety alarm made for women by women.
In a situation where you feel threatened or unsafe, you can simply activate Birdie's loud siren and flashing light to create a diversion.
Birdie is perfect to carry anytime because the device is lightweight and comes in a variety of colors.
So important. Use our ambassador link and coupon code PNW Haunts and Homicides to receive 10% off your purchase. Like our social media handles, the coupon code is all spelled out, no special characters.
You can find the link and promo code in our show notes or PNW Haunts and Homicides link tree.
Have a safe-ass day. As indie podcasters, we love to show our support of other awesome shows. So stay tuned for the promo we've got to share with you this week.
Let's show them some love. You can find their info in our show notes.
Hi, friends.
Hi.
Welcome to They're Terrified and Tipsy. So I'll start.
Okay.
My name is Courtney. I love long walks on the beach, white wine, and I absolutely love scary movies.
And I'm Stephanie. I also love long walks on the beach. I love white wine, but I absolutely hate scary movies.
So Stephanie, can I ask you a question?
Please.
Why in the hell would you want to watch scary movies and do a podcast on scary movies when you hate them?
Oh, that's easy. Because you forced me.
That's true. But you know what? There's wine.
Yeah, so I'm basically only here for the wine.
Lots and lots of wine.
We're going to need it.
Well, since we have very different feelings about scary movies, we decided to share our emotional struggles with you all.
Yeah, so grab a glass of wine, your favorite couch blanket, and get comfy and enjoy the ride with us. Also, you can find They're Terrified and Tipsy on Instagram and Twitter, plus all the podcast platforms. For links, head over to tipsypod.com. Cheers!
You guys, we're back. And don't worry, we did get more wine.
Well, of course.
Hi, Caitlin.
You son of a bitch. Hi, Cassie.
I told Caitlin to start, and then as soon as she opened her mouth, I said it first.
If that's even your real name.
I was just trying to pull a prank on you.
Well, I hated it.
The look on your face was worth it. It was pretty funny. Well, hi, creepy people.
Oh, hi. Hello.
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 This is PNW Haunts and Homicides.
It is.
And we are doing another CPC. What's that stand for? Because we like, what are those things?
Acronyms?
We like acronyms around here. What's CPC stand for?
Creepy People Chronicles.
Oh, yeah. That's where you guys write us some creepy stories about paranormal shit or murder or witchy shit or any kind of crime.
A witchy murder.
Witchy murder.
A ghost murder.
Ghost crime.
Murder ghost.
Anything. All of it.
Mm-hmm.
You write us and you tell us about it and then we read it back to you. That's how that works.
Yep. Yup.
Well, do you want to start us off?
All right. So our first listener story, Creepy Chronicle, is from Brandy.
Hi, Brandy.
Hello. That's just how I greet people. Sorry, Brandy. Don't be afraid. She says, hey, creepy ladies, gals, friends. So she's on my level today. Brandy is also Ron Burgundy. She says, ugh, I hate introductions, so let me just dive right in.
Sounds perfect.
Her style.
Yes. Definitely friends.
Yeah.
Creepy friends.
We are CPC besties. I have 2 stories I can share. The first is of a horrific murderer who terrorized Christmas in 1987.
Why would you terrorize Christmas?
That's really rude.
Like, please don't.
Like, Santa sees you when you're sleeping.
He knows when you're murdering.
He sure does.
Yeah.
Of course, I can't give you firsthand experience with this tale, as I was only 1 and only worried about terrorizing my own family in the middle of the night.
That's a good way to put
it. That's okay. We don't hold it against you.
I'm glad you don't have first-hand experience.
Exactly. Yeah. Cassie coming in clutch with the thing you should say.
I try.
This well-known, always gets the locals to gossiping killer was Ronald Gene Simmons. God damn it. I don't like him.
You don't. I don't know who he is.
I really don't. Yeah. It's okay. We'll go into it probably for another day.
Oh. Isn't Gene Simmons like a musician?
Yeah, he's from Kiss.
Oh, right. Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah, he's the guy. Yeah.
Quit ruining Kiss for me.
Okay, listen, you're over there worried about Kiss, and I'm like, you guys, but Christmas.
They go hand in hand.
Yeah,
Kiss,
okay.
Christmas.
Yeah, sure.
Mistletoe.
Every kiss begins with K. So if you think about it,
they're connected.
Simmons terrorized our small town of 1,500 over the span of 7 days. He started his murderous acts at home, where he shot his son and daughter-in-law before strangling his wife, and later that day strangling 4 daughters and another son.
Oh my God.
Sweet baby Jesus in the manger.
I didn't read this.
Yikes.
I saw murder and I was like, Caitlin can read it.
Great.
Oh,
thank you.
That is awful. That is not a lot of people in that town.
No.
So it's like everybody knows everybody. So that's like huge.
I mean, okay, so think about this. This is 1, 2, 3, 7, 8 people. That's like not an insignificant portion of their population.
No.
Like only in a small town.
Yeah.
Could you actually accomplish something like that? Simmons then waited with their corpses still in the house. Talk about twisted, Brandy says, and I'm inclined to agree.
Yeah.
Until his eldest son, his wife, and their son arrived the day after Christmas. Oh my God.
No, this is so terrible.
He shot his son and daughter-in-law, then drowned the small child.
Why wouldn't he just, but.
Drowning a child. Okay.
Like, why?
I feel like that's something we just hear in child cases far too frequently. And there's something so specifically horrifying about it because they're so vulnerable.
I know.
Okay. Well,
but like you shot everyone else, right?
Right. So it's like you have to inflict like this maximum fear in the person who is least positioned to protect themselves.
God, I guess he did do the strangling to the
Yeah.
other ones. Gosh,
Oh my
that is just horrific.
Well, and it is interesting too, because you don't see very often where a serial will change their MO like that.
Mm-hmm. It's like he's just trying out different things. Ugh.
Right.
Ugh.
Right. No, really. Okay, well, happy anniversary to me. After the murders, Simmons went for a drink in a local bar, then returned to the house and, apparently oblivious to the corpses lined up around him, spent the rest of the evening and the following day drinking beer and watching television. I don't think he was oblivious. However, I do think he clearly must not be afraid of ghosts. Because I would already be afraid those people would be haunting the shit out of him.
That's a lot of people.
That's entirely too many. On the morning of Monday, December 28th, Simmons drove into Russellville and at a local law office shot dead the receptionist, a young woman named Kathy Kendrick, with whom he had been infatuated and who had rejected him.
Ugh.
I don't know, man. Like, maybe that had something to do with the fact that you had a wife. So gross.
That is disgusting.
He next went to an oil company office where he shot dead a man named J.D. Chaffin and wounded the owner, Rusty Taylor, and then drove onto a convenience store where he had previously worked, shooting and wounding 2 more people.
Wow. Like, I thought it was a lot in the beginning, and then he just keeps going and going and going.
Yeah. I think at this point, I'm remembering that he really wouldn't technically be considered a serial killer. He would be classified as a spree killer, which is kind of, there's so many classifications just because of how differently these types of crimes can be executed, whereas like a mass shooting, I mean, totally different kinds of crimes, and they're all horrific, but I'm just like, ugh. The spree killer really throws me for a loop, though.
Yeah.
I just feel like that's really, I mean, obviously this person has lost control. It's just,
totally.
It's so scary. Afterwards, he went to the office of the Woodline Motor Freight Company, where he shot and wounded a woman, ending his killing spree. Which, like, how did he know this person? Why is he...
Yeah, does he, like, know all of these people, or...
I don't get it. Simmons simply sat in the office and chatted to one of the secretaries whilst waiting for the police.
What?
So, can you imagine...
No.
When they arrived, he handed over his gun and surrendered without any resistance. To say that there haven't been many tales stretched from this incident would be a bold-faced lie. I mean, yeah, could see that coming.
Right. Yeah. Small town.
Yeah. Yes, the teens of the 90s often dared one another to touch crazy Simmons' land. I almost said Simpsons. I don't know why.
No, not the. Don't bring the Simpsons into this.
I know, I'm so sorry. While others thought it was a good idea to do a seance.
No.
You guys.
I'd do it.
Oh my God. Never. Hashtag never Bundy and hashtag never a Simmons seance.
That would be kind of a really dark place
Yeah.
to do one, though. Like, that's icky.
You are inviting some really dark stuff to come and hang out with you, I think.
Yeah.
I would like to say I was not one of these crazy teens, but again, I would be lying.
Oh, Brandy.
Brandy! Oh my goodness.
Oh.
God. Every person has that story of like just like the dumb stuff you did as a kid.
Did anything ever happen? I guess she might have told us if it did.
Okay, I guess we'll find out. Maybe. Here's a nice little link to learn all about the mess that was Ronald Gene Simmons. I'm clicking it.
She's clicking on it.
Oh my God.
What?
He kind of looks like if Krampus and Santa had an ugly baby.
What?
Look.
Ah, no.
It's coming closer.
No, that's him.
That's him.
Bad Santa. Bad Santa.
A very bad Santa, indeed. Eek! My next creepy story would be about the Dover Lights.
Ooh.
I don't know if I know what that is.
I don't exactly know any specifics, but I've heard of them.
Okay. This urban legend has been around my area for decades. The mysterious lights that haunt the valley. Interesting. Okay. Well, I'm just going to read it because I don't know. And we're going to find out.
It's probably aliens.
I grew up obsessed with this legend and even wrote a fictional novel about it.
Oh, shit.
Deep in the Hollow. Holy shit, you guys. We're in the presence of yet again another author.
Oh, man. We're going to have to read that.
I know.
Yesterday.
Woo! There are many tales about what these lights are, but the most famous is the Light of the Conquistadors.
Ooh, what is
What?
that?
Many say they are haunting the valley in search of their gold. I mean, it's like so conquistador.
Yeah.
You know what I
right.
mean? Like, if you shine a light and yell, you have their gold, they'll flash across the mountain to come for you. I mean, I think it goes without saying, but I really don't want anyone to do this.
I think we should take our fake gold pots out there, our leprechaun pots.
Oh, no.
They kind of remind me of leprechauns.
Yeah.
Do you think they're kind of the same type of thing?
I'm tempted to think no. Brandy says, I've seen these lights a few times myself and no, I wasn't drinking, which is often the first thing asked when skeptics hear these tales. Okay, well, listen, I've had my fair share of rosé all day and I've never seen mysterious flashing lights. So people that question you about whether you were drinking, I'm
Right.
like, drinking doesn't make you see flashing lights. Just FYI. If you do, you should probably see someone.
Yeah, maybe go to a doctor.
Seek medical attention. They are rather fascinating lights, and I'm proud to say that I've not only seen them, but I've also sat with scientists who were there trying to figure out what they were. Not sure that they ever did.
Wow.
Brandy, you're like fancy as fuck.
That is really cool.
She's basically a doctor. She writes books and chills out with scientists, so.
Brandy, can we come with you
Yeah.
to see the lights?
We'll give you an honorary degree, a doctorate from Creepy People Chronicles,
Right.
you. Here's a link to one of the theories known as the Dover Lights. Thanks for all the fun you two have and the stories you share. You sure make my long commute more bearable.
Oh, are you sure?
Yeah. Yeah, be careful, you know.
Boo.
Ah! Stay safe, but always creepy. Brandy. P.S. I suck at closings as well.
You don't suck at anything.
Brandy, you don't ever have to apologize. You're a doctor.
And yeah, and an author.
You graduated from Creepy People Chronicles U. So,
Well, thank you, Dr. Brandy.
Dr. Brandy.
So this one is a little bit different. We read the story from Brandy, and then we're going to play you two separate interviews, one from Kirsten Weiss, the author
Of the Tea and Tarot series.
I'm looking at Caitlin because I wasn't there
I know. Cassie was dreadfully ill, and she's...
and pissed.
Yeah, exactly.
I was really upset.
Yeah.
But
I know, because when you started editing, you texted me and you were like, holy shit.
this is so good. I'm so mad I missed it. We have to do it again. So,
Yeah.
So I wanted to know if she had any paranormal experiences, and she did. So we will be adding that to this episode. And then we also recently did a tarot read for one of our new Patreon members, and she had some spooky stories as well that we're going to add.
Yes.
Yes.
And some hot tips on some tasty booze
Oh,
that
yeah.
may or may not be featured in the upcoming Prohibition Crimes
Oh, yeah. That's
Patreon
right.
Live.
Yes. And she got a whole tarot reading that we're probably going to post on Patreon.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So we're not doing separate tarot readings for their 2 stories. They already had their own tarot readings that were separate from that. So we just decided to include those today because they're fun and we want you guys to hear it.
Yeah. Yeah. I think particularly with Kirsten's interview, we already kind of let that cat out of the bag so that we could talk about her book before it came out. Obviously, we wanted to help her promote if we could. And I felt like it was going to run really long if we included all of her stories. So we kind of broke it off. And I thought that'd be kind of fun. A fun little thing to kind of switch it up a little bit with the Creepy People Chronicles.
Yeah. Ooh, I wonder if we could have people send in, like, if they want to do a voice thing telling their story.
I mean, they totally could.
You can if you want.
Yeah.
We'll throw it in here if you don't want to hear our voices read it.
Yeah. Which some days I really get that.
Right. I know. Tarot?
Tarot?
Okay. I'm shuffling.
Shuffle. Tremendous.
Okay, we're pulling a card for Brandy's story.
Brandy.
About the Kiss Christmas murders. And I mean, that was the bulk of the story. She had the Dover lights, but I feel like...
Oh.
What did we get? We got the 5 of Swords in reverse.
Oh, yeah, I guess I could have told you what it was.
It's a little owl. And we're going to look in the book and see what kind of owl. Oh, I turned right to it.
Oh.
I mean, there was a couple of flips in there. I'm just kidding. It's a northern spotted owl.
She pretty.
And a Humboldt's flying squirrel?
What? Where?
He has a squirrel in his mouth.
No!
That's kind of disturbing.
Unhand that squirrel!
I mean, I know it's nature, but when we're
nature.
talking about murder here.
Yeah.
Well, then.
All right. So 5 of Swords, our keywords are change, adjustment, loss, destruction, conflict, indecision, and sadness.
Wow. I have different ones here. They're kind of along the same lines, but this one says aggression, conflict, hostility, ambition, defeat, and or winning at any cost.
Eek.
Which I'm like, ambition and aggression are kind of sounds a lot like this Gene Simmons guy.
Yeah. The number 5 signifies change, and this card shows a time of adjustment after a conflict of some kind. Sometimes the fight stems from ideological or spiritual differences. The Rider-Waite-Smith, Aquarian, and some other decks show a soldier on the battlefield at the end of a fight. The card asks, what have you won or lost? Yikes.
Wow, that is kind of like, because he left this trail of bodies behind him, I feel like. On the battlefield.
Eek.
I don't like that.
No. Okay. And I did draw this in the reverse.
Yes.
Reversed, the 5 suggests pretty much the same thing as it does upright. When the card appears reversed in a reading, however, you may feel a great sense of remorse, regret, or unhappiness. Sometimes it shows you making repairs or reparations after a conflict, trying to set things right and learning from your suffering. Wow. Well, I would say I'm going to go out on a limb and say that probably this poor community has taken away some really hard lessons from this.
Yeah.
That whole situation.
Wow. I kind of like want to hear more about what happened after.
I can help.
Yeah. I'm waiting on it.
I'm going to read you the upright, though, since it leans into that they're very much the same.
Okay.
The Five of Swords symbolizes the devastation of war and recommends using diplomacy to resolve problems. After a battle, you realize fighting isn't the best way to settle disputes. The cost of winning may not be worth the losses you've endured.
Yeah, like maybe don't kill a girl because she doesn't like you.
I mean, yeah, definitely that. Wow, that is just creepy. And I'm just going to read from this. In a reading about love, this card says, you won't get what you want by arguing. Hurtful words can't be taken back. Try to resolve problems amicably, honestly, and fairly. You may have to make some changes in order to improve a situation. Try to resolve differences without drawing swords.
Or guns or hands.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm not even going to read the 3 interpretation parts because I feel like we've got exactly what we need out of this card for that case. And you guys, violence is not the answer.
Never. I kind of want to read this. It sounds kind of cool. I don't know if it relates, but I kind of want to read it.
Do it.
It sounds cute. Okay. So from our little P&W tarot book, it says, a quick series of flaps and then silence. A shadow momentarily eclipsing a sliver of moonlight. The intangible feeling of a sharp-eyed stare from above. The squirrel never stood a chance, really. Eek. She was perched upon... I'm sorry, I got like the chills reading this. And I got my eye fixed, so I have no excuse anymore.
Oh my God.
She was perched upon a springy limb, plotting the fastest route home to her leaf-filled nest. Oh my gosh, she readied her jump, crouching down and tensing her muscles. This is like giving me the heebie-jeebies, this whole thing. But instead of launching forward, she lifted up, carried aloft by the razor talons under her silent wings. There was no pain, only shock. No hope, oh my God, no hope of fighting back, only total defeat. The battle was over before she even knew what was happening.
Wow.
For the owl, it was a single meal, sustenance for an evening, unremarkable and soon forgotten.
Oh.
Yikes.
Okay. Well,
I'm shaking.
I'm not gonna.
Yeah, so
Okay.
that's crazy. It was all about like this owl attacking this little innocent squirrel, basically, and that's kind of how
What a
this
metaphor.
went. Yeah.
Oof.
Ooh. Well, we pulled a good card. What do you guys think? Brandy, what do you think? You can let us know what you think.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Because maybe she sees more similarities like that we don't know about.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let us know.
Oh my goodness.
I'm honestly still not sure what to make of it.
Oh.
So it was about 5 years ago, there was a total solar eclipse
Oh, yes.
going over Oregon. And so my sister and I drove up to Oregon and met some friends to see the eclipse. And when we drove back, we decided to go along the Oregon and California coast because it's
Gorgeous.
spectacular.
Yeah.
Well, so were all the other Californians who'd gone up for the eclipse. So the road was just, packed, and it was really a grind getting home. And when we finally got to the stopping point, we're like, we'll take whatever hotel's available, which ended up being kind of tired old hotel on the coast. And when we walked into the room, I immediately got this kind of feeling because it was kind of musty. And I was just thinking, well, I mean, it was clean, but it was old and it was musty. And so I thought, okay, that's why I'm getting the feeling. Not that it's haunted or anything.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah, of course. I mean, that's not where I initially go. Anyway, so we had to get up really early the next morning, and my sister hates getting up really early. So I was kind of dreading that experience. And I woke up and the room was really dark, and the layout was, there was 2 queen beds, and off I was farthest from the door. And then beyond my bed, there was a little like area with a sink. And then there was the area with the toilet, which was enclosed with a door. And so I was lying in bed wondering what time it was. And my phone was charging way on the other side of the room. So I knew if I get up and look at the phone, then I'm going to be really awake. And if it's 4 a.m., I'm never going to get back to sleep again. So maybe I should just ignore it and wait for the stupid thoughts that go in your head when it's 6 a.m. and dark and your mind isn't really thinking that well.
Of course.
So I'm thinking. And the room is dark enough. It was very dark. I could see the shapes of things, but I couldn't see any definition. So nothing was three-dimensional. I could see the rectangle of the television on a bigger rectangle of the media stand, but again, no dimensionality.
Okay.
So I see the silhouette of my sister get up from her bed and cross in front of my bed and go towards the bathroom. And I'm thinking, oh, fantastic. Amazingly, she's awake. When she comes out of the bathroom, I can ask her to check my clock and see what time it is. And so I'm lying there and I'm waiting. I think, gosh, I realized she's being really quiet. I mean, I haven't heard any water running. I haven't heard a toilet flush. I didn't hear the door close.
Suspicious.
She's like, gosh, she's so polite. She really is. She's super polite. So she's always really conscientious and trying to not bother people. I'm like, God, she's just amazing. And then in the bed next to mine, I hear her start to snore.
No.
Yes. And I was just like paralyzed with fear at that point. And I didn't think it was a person. I thought it was a ghost because that's where my mind went.
Yeah.
And so I was just lying in bed with my eyes this big. And then about 5 minutes later, my alarm did go off and we were out of that hotel so fast. But I didn't even tell her until we were about 20 miles down the road what I'd seen.
Oh my gosh.
She was super mad. She's like, there could have been a man in the room and you didn't wake me up. I was like, it wasn't a man. It was a ghost.
That's not a man.
Well, the addendum to this story is that last autumn, the same sister and I are at another hotel in Florida. Same sort of setup. We're in a suite, 2 queen beds, but I'm closest to the door and she's closest to the bathroom area.
Okay.
So the setup is the bedroom. You go through a really short hall with a bathroom off to the side, and then beyond that, there's a little sort of kitchenette living area, and then the balcony. So I'm lying in bed. Once again, I've woken up early, wondering what time it is. And I see her get up from the bed and silently leave the room. And I was just like, okay, this time I'm getting my butt out of bed to see what's going on. So I jump out of bed and I'm trying to look at the bed she was in. And I just see a big pile of covers. And I know enough. I'm not gonna poke it to see if she's there because that would just not go well.
Don't do it. Yeah.
No, I didn't. So I looked, bathroom's empty. I looked at the other room, which wasn't that big, and it was empty.
Uh-oh.
So I think a friend of mine, when I told her the story after the eclipse, she said she's probably astral projecting.
Oh my goodness.
I was all, no, it was a ghost because the hotel room had that total vibe. It had to have been a ghost. But then after what happened in Florida, I'm thinking maybe she was astral projecting because
starting to sound like it.
Yeah, we couldn't have been in 2 haunted hotel rooms with ghosts that decided to cozy up next to my sister. That would just be too weird.
I feel like that's a bit of a stretch, don't you think? I don't know.
Yeah, I think she was astral projecting. Of course, she doesn't believe in any of that stuff, so she finds the idea really irritating, and she will not be listening to this podcast. So I'll tell you anyways.
There you go. We're in on the secret. That's so funny. She's the one doing it and she doesn't believe it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how else to explain it. And I was definitely awake both times.
Right. You're thinking, no, it's not me imagining it. I'd like to be able to comfort you in that way, but not so much.
Yeah. It wasn't a dream.
Yeah.
Now my phone has low battery.
Oh my gosh. You're like, how can I just not have anything remain charged?
I don't know. My life was...
Are you being haunted?
I know, right?
Oh.
And I literally was like...
I definitely am. I've got some really good stories.
Oh, snap.
Let's just say his name is Carl.
Carl? Oh, and Coral.
Carl. Yeah, no, don't. He'll turn off the lights.
Don't call him.
My husband, we were up in our bedroom and the door kept opening and closing and you could see the knob.
Nope.
It was before he knew about Carl. And so I'm sitting there, I'm like, oh, it's just Carl. And he looks at me and goes, who the hell is Carl? I'm like, it's just the ghost. I've been sensitive since I was little. He's been with me this whole time. It's like my guardian angel ghost that likes to mess with me. And he goes, that's not funny. And I'm like, no, I'm being serious, because the door's just like,
Obviously, it's not.
open, close, open, close. I mean, we went on for like 15 minutes. And
Wow.
like, this is really getting stupid. I'm like, Carl, will you knock it off? This is getting really annoying. And the door opened all the way and then just slammed. And he hopped out of the chair. He's like, nope, I'm the fuck out of here. And he ran out the door.
Oh my God. Caitlin would do the same thing.
Yeah. My kids joke about Carl all the time now, too. He's done a lot. He's funny.
Oh, that's awesome. I think.
He's a prankster. And everybody at the farm where my family lives is always like, oh, Carl's been here today.
I love that. Oh my God.
gosh.
Meanwhile, I'm like, okay, well, it's been nice knowing you guys. I have to leave the country and change my name.
Oh, that's Mom.
Goodbye forever.
Oh my gosh.
She's very skeptical about it, but the other day she actually left. She rides a Harley. She jumped on her Harley and left because it was that bad. We were talking about how Carl's been messing with us because I went in the bathroom. The sink was on like full blast. I shut it off, went back out. It was on full blast again. And then my brother, who lives at the farm, was like, hey, have you been here today? I'm like, no. He's like, well, I came in like 4 times and turned off all the lights, and the lights would be back on when I came in. I'm like, it's just Carl. And she looks at me, she goes, you're so stupid. And then all of a sudden, I mean, the TV remote sitting like right in front of us. We can all see it. The TV turns on and turns up all the way. And I was like, Carl, knock it off. And the TV turns off. And she gets up. She's like, I'm not doing this today. Goodbye.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
She sounds like
I'm
such a
not doing this
badass,
today.
though. Just gets on her Harley and drives away.
All right, well, apparently I need a Harley now, so.
Goodbye, bitch. Yeah. Oh, and there's a haunted house
Oh,
too.
that makes sense.
Oh, of course there is.
Oh, it's so fun. It's in the middle of like Yam Hill. It's in the middle of nowhere in the country. And it's on a big hill. So you've got this gorgeous view, and it's like a 1800s like Victorian house.
Oh,
The top floor is the most haunted. I've had my phone start charging out of nowhere. Light.
What?
Yeah, lights will be on just fine. You go in them, they start flickering.
oh my gosh.
My mom's had like her phone will start randomly calling people, like just randomly. A lot of device stuff. We used to have a border collie, and he was my mom's like PTSD service dog type thing, and he was with her all the time, but he would refuse to go upstairs, and he would lay out the floor and cry like downstairs while we were cleaning up there.
Gosh.
Oh,
That's
my
and-
gosh.
scary.
Oh, and
That's
cold
very
spots.
Last of Us.
Yeah, and cold
Ooh.
spots galore. I mean, you walk in, there's one bedroom that's really bad, and it's always so cold compared to the rest of the house. I've seen my breath in there before. I love it.
Ooh, that's so creepy. I want to go.
Yeah, she's like, I'm going.
Is it open to the public?
No, but I can get you to her.
Yeah. She's like, I know a guy.
Have connections.
I might have keys. I'm just kidding. Well, I do, but
It's like the middle of the night. We all sneak into this haunted house and do a Ouija
oh my
board.
gosh. Yes.
No.
No Ouija boards.
No.
Come on, guys.
No.
I know how to get my mom to listen to the podcast now, though, because I've got a guilty confession. Because I hate Ouija boards. Sorry, I'm doing this just so she'll listen.
Okay, we'll make sure to put it
We
in there.
love it.
I hate Ouija boards. Like, you do not mess around with that energy. You don't know what's going to come out. You know, don't know what's going to happen. So she has been continuously making jokes about how she's going to do a seance in her house because of Carl the ghost. So she wouldn't stop. And I mean, it was getting really annoying. So I bought a Ouija board and I had it sent to her with no return label or anything, like no who sent it or anything. And so she's sitting there, who sent me a Ouija board? And everybody's like, no, didn't touch it, didn't do it.
Not me.
She's like, it was you, wasn't it? I'm like, no, I wouldn't do that. What are you talking about? No, it was me. It's only been like a year.
Oh my God.
You kept that secret for a year?
I kept that secret for a year.
Oh my
I mean, I'm
gosh,
sure-
you revealed it on our pod.
Yeah.
I had no idea. And now I'm like, holy shit.
I'm a petty bitch. If you do stuff to irritate me, I will be petty. No.
I would argue that's not petty at all. Like, that's just an example of like fuck around and find out.
Yeah. But I work at Ewing Young Distillery. And if you guys want to look on history, you should look up the history of Ewing Young.
Is it haunted too?
Well, okay. So our distillery is actually where he settled. He was Oregon's first settler before it was even a territory.
Oh.
And so he settled on the property that we're at, and he brought the Scottish Highland cattle, which are like the little short guys with the little tiny horns that are all furry.
So
and
cute.
He was a fur trapper, and then he was Oregon's first distiller. And he's actually buried out underneath a tree on our property, and there's a massive oak tree where he's buried. And I don't know if you've ever heard of Shampooey Park, but that's where they held his service, and his best friend, Amanda Bailey, took an acorn from there, and she put it in his grave, and that's why the tree is there. But we've actually had ghost hunters come out because our tree is haunted, and they've actually got indications of 3 children that they think are his grandchildren or great-grandchildren. I'm not entirely sure what it was, but they actually recently just came back out and did a second, like an EVP recording session.
Oh, cool.
So it's fun.
Cassie. It's outside, and I kind of oddly feel like ghosts can't really do anything to me outside. So I want to go to there.
Okay.
We're open Saturdays and Sundays. 1 to 5.
Look at, she's like, see you there.
Did everyone hear that though? Caitlin wants to go to a haunted place. Like,
no one's gonna hear this, because this is gonna be the slice that we save for when we talk about the distillery.
Hey, bring a picnic, because we don't have food unless you like pretzels. But we've got like cornhole, axe throwing, a big beautiful pond. We're on a racehorse farm. Pretty cool.
Oh my gosh, that sounds fun. Yeah, that's we definitely need to plan a trip.
Okay, I have one more thing. Sorry, fangirling a little bit. So, do you know how I tell your voices apart?
How?
I'm curious.
Caitlin sounds like Selena Gomez.
Oh,
I do?
You do.
Maybe a little.
Wow.
Even like your laugh.
Okay, so like right now in my head, I'm just hearing Beyonce and Nicki Minaj, the intro, like, feeling myself. I'm like, okay. Like, I'll take that. Well, I have to go now because I'm actually dead, because I died. So I'm dead. I am a ghost now.
Okay, Selena, sing for us.
I think not.
Okay, so I'm the patron that messaged you about Lafayette.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think it's episode 34, 35, where you guys did the collab, and you were talking about the cemetery.
Yeah.
I loved that one. That was one of the ones that I actually went to. So
yeah, so
that was fun.
The Lafayette has a lot more history than that witch, though.
I'm sure.
Yeah, it was Oregon's, like, it used to be Oregon's Portland type thing. It had the Willamette River ran through it. And so it was really big back in the day before trains, for everything to be sent by ship. So they had a big hub there. And so they would go and, have everything delivered there. And after the witch died, actually, so she cursed the town, died, whatever, 3 times. And then she also cursed the town that the Willamette River would dry up. Oh. And it did. It dried up in that portion. Oh my gosh. So they built the Lafayette locks, trying to get the river to go back. And the river eventually did go back, but by the time that happened, railroad tracks were built in McMinnville. I don't know if you know McMinnville. Started booming. Lafayette essentially kind of died out. So McMinnville kind of took Lafayette's thunder, because the river did dry up, and that's why they were so big, was because of the river and the shipping.
I mean, that makes sense.
Sorry, I'm like, oh, I've got all these fun things to tell you guys.
Like, I couldn't go deep into that one, because there was 4 other stories, and you can't just go as deep as you want to with that. Oh sometimes. Yeah, but yeah,
and then it's good to know, because sometimes history. We can revisit.
Well, and the museum there is supposedly haunted, because there's a grand piano there, and a girl had gotten it as a gift for, I think it was her 15th or 16th birthday. And for her birthday, after she received, I can't talk, talking's hard, received that piano. She'd gone to the Oregon coast with her friends for a trip, and she actually drowned right after she never came back.
Oh my
she drowned.
God,
She got swept out in the ocean. But that piano plays by itself in that Lafayette Museum all the time now.
Oh my gosh. I think I did read about that.
It's kind of fun.
I don't think I included it because it wasn't really part of that story, but
It's just a player piano. It's fine.
I've got a couple other recommendations. I'm sorry if I'm taking up too much time, guys. I'm having fun. So I grew up in Granite in Sumter, Oregon.
Okay.
Which is middle of nowhere, Oregon.
It really is.
Sumter's burned down like 3 times. Yeah. But Sumter's also burnt down, I think, at least 3 or 4 times. And Granite, their population. Why are you on fire?
Stop being on fire. It gets so stressful.
But Granite has a population, I think, of 21 people now.
Wow.
So I mean,
21 people.
I think that it might be more now, but I think in 2017 it was like 21.
Wow.
And kind of a joke about Carl is we went to one of the gold mines when I was a kid up there, and I'd taken one of the bricks that were from a cave-in, and so everybody jokes around and says that brick is what brought Carl, my ghost.
Carl.
I have it over here.
Oh my God.
But it has like a stamp on it. I think it's like WO.
I was going to say, you're going to have to send us a picture of it.
That might be it.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Probably shouldn't have done that, but I was like 10 years old. Who cares?
I mean, what did you know?
I mean, Carl doesn't seem mean, so.
No,
Yeah.
I love Carl.
Like, it couldn't have worked out better. If someone's going to haunt you, I feel like you want Carl.
So when my parents bought their farm, it's in Newburgh. It used to be like, I think it was close to 80 acres, but they'd subdivided it for the family. And on the main property where the parents used to live, which is not where my parents bought, like my parents bought a property next to it that was for their child. So on the old farm where the parents owned, there was this old, really, really rackety farmhouse. And their grandson and I, because they'd come, the original owners, their grandson would come and stay with them, and they still stayed on our property sometimes. So It was like summertime. It was like 100 degrees out. We were left at the farm alone. We were 12 or 13. And we decided to go explore the old abandoned farmhouse next door. And they had the cow. Yeah. And they had like, it used to be a dairy farm. So they had like all the cow barns and stuff in it. And we went to cow barns, and they were just too freaky. We were like, yeah, no. So we'd go in the house. And I don't know if you know, but like in the old houses, you know, the really steep stairs that are like, I would lose my breath like 2 steps up now. But we went up to go to that bedroom up there. There was only one bedroom going up these really steep stairs. And the door, we noticed immediately that there was a lock on the outside of the door. Not one on the inside, it was on the outside.
Oh, that's always creepy.
And Jacob at the time made the joke of, what if we got locked in? Ha ha ha. I'm like, you're not funny. So we go in the room, we start looking around, and there's a pentagram on the floor.
Oh.
And we're both like, what is this? And we're like looking at it. And then we look in the closet, and there's like the game Candyland was set up. Yeah. And then like a blanket, like somebody was laying down and playing Candyland by themselves or something.
I just played that last night.
Yeah, well, that board game was in the closet. And as we're taking all of this in, the door slammed shut.
No.
Oh, no.
I have to go.
They wanted you to play.
So the room, like, he said it was shaking. I felt more of like a pulsation type of thing. The Candyland game, pieces on the board started like vibrating and moving. And he started crying. And he was like sitting in the corner. I mean, this is one of those stories you wouldn't believe it, but we both have talked about it. And we still remember it vividly. But I mean, it was just, he was crying. I'm trying to figure out how to get out the window. The windows are barred, and we're 2 stories up, and we're, 12 or 13 years old. I would probably break my legs jumping out the window. And
seriously.
So I'm like, all right, I'm just going to sit over here by him, try to make him feel better and ride this out. And then all of a sudden the door just like creaks open, and it didn't close inwards. It opened, and like, you know what I mean? It doesn't go in the room. It opens out towards the hallway.
Yeah. Outward.
Yeah. And so it doesn't make any sense because of these steep ass stairs, but the door opened. I've never yeeted myself out of the building so freaking fast in my life.
Yeah. Why are there bars on the window?
I have no clue. And why is there a pentagram on the floor?
That to me seems like if it wasn't so rural, and even if it like, even though it is, that just seems like it's teenagers or, you know, somebody like kind of camping out there using that space.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious if it was, you know, either like you said, kids, homeless people, maybe there is
something. Yeah.
2 weeks later, that house burnt down for unknown reasons.
Have a creepy ass day. See you next Tuesday.
Or yeah, probably.
Unless
we might see you sooner. Who knows?
Unless you're the squirrel here.
I mean, yikes.
Well, I used to like owls.
Oh boy. Okay, we gotta go.
So, for all of you that are listening, if you have any true crime or paranormal stories that you want us to share, maybe with the whole Pacific Northwest.
Yes, we would love to read them on the pod.
Yes, we will read them out loud.
Not just in our heads.
Yes. They don't have to be from the Pacific Northwest if you would like to share. Email us at pnwhauntsandhomicides@gmail.com. It's all spelled out, no special characters. Super duper easy peasy.
Follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Same thing as the email at pnwhauntsandhomicides, all spelled out, no special characters. Please also rate and review us on whatever platform you're listening to, and check out our stories on social media because our meme game is hot.
Agreed.
And if you agree, like Caitlin, you can also find us on Patreon and support the show.
Bitchin'.
I'm going to make another playlist.
Sounds good.
Yeah. I don't know how many people actually listen to the playlist, but I enjoy making them. So
You do you. If it makes you happy.
It can't be
that is another banger. You guys,
You're welcome.
This is happening.